action.
All right, we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now time to talk about a sport that actually matters and has, in my opinion, far more interesting Western and Western and Eastern Conference finals matchups. In the West, we got the Dallas Stars kicking off against the Vegas Golden Knights, and in the East, we got the Florida Panthers against the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this matchup at the end of the day, like these matchups at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the testing of the depth of each team. It's not going to come down to star power. I mean, the Stars speaks for itself. You got Pavelski, you got Rupert Hintz, you got Mason Marchment, you got Robertson, you got Jamie Benn, you got Tyler Seguin when he decides to show up, and so much more. Vegas, what else do I got to say? Mark Stone. I mean, really, I could just say Mark Stone, and then, then we have Ivan Barbashev, Stevenson, Carlson, Marshall. Like Vegas is loaded, but I think I think at the end of the day, these two offenses, uh, they're very high powered. They can, and we could see Vegas was able to destroy Edmonton on the 5-on-5. Like Edmonton, if power plays did not exist, Edmonton would basically be dead in the water. They probably would have been swept. But Vegas, they're disciplined. They they know when to match. They can skate well, and they got good speed. But personally, my pick, even though I'm rooting for Bruce Cassidy, I think I think it'll be Dallas in six. And the reason I say that is because at the end of the day, I think Dallas's goaltending is much more experienced. Jake Ottinger, he last year, of course, he was playing out of his mind until the overtime goal against Calgary in Game 7. But Ottinger has more experience behind the net, and at the end, and he's been more calm and cool under pressure, and he knows what Game 7 atmospheres are like. And and this is no disrespect to Vegas, absolutely not, because they have a great defensive pairing, especially with Alec Martinez and Alex Petrangelo, and Theodore Whitecloud McNabb and Nicholas Hagee. But I think I think personally that uh, who knows, maybe this time, like, since the entirety of Vegas's goaltending unit is is basically injured. You got Brossois, Logan Thompson, they're on the IR. And then Aiden Hill, like he's done a remarkable job as a rookie. Remarkable job. But I think in times like this, you got to turn to the veteran and you got to go with Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick basically willed the 2012 Kings to a Stanley Cup championship and was a very critical part of the 2014 championship. Um, Arnav would Arnav would probably remember 2012
Yeah.
from the PTSD
Yeah.
Kings Devils,
Yeah.
but he'd probably
The Kings
celebrate the
Rangers one.
Rangers
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
practically nothing.
that's true. Yeah. That's
Yeah, the
kind of
one
like when
thing
I
you
started getting back like when I started getting the hockey like way back in like 2012. So it's been a while and
yeah
then yeah.
but
Now
it's like
here we are in
you
2022,
could at least say you have
2023. Exactly. Now
you
the
could say you
Devils
at
are
least have
good
bragging
again, so
rights.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
just saying, like, at least you could say you have bragging rights against the Kings. You lost in six, but Rangers lost in five, so that's really good for you. But like,
That's fair.
I'd say in times like, yeah, I'd say me
We also just
personally,
yeah.
if I were Bruce Cassidy, I would put Jonathan Quick behind the pipes. That's just me. That's no disrespect to Aiden Hill, but I trust a veteran who's gotten two Stanley Cups for his team a lot more than Aiden Hill. And now going on to the Eastern Conference, we got Carolina against those damn Panthers. Oh, how I hate the Panthers for obvious reasons. And
Yeah. It's a while.
less said about
Incredible.
that, the better. But I I think I don't know. I mean, I really want to pick against Florida. I really do. But um they've just been, I mean, well, I definitely picked them to beat Toronto in the second round because I hate Toronto far more than I hate Florida. And Florida didn't
Makes sense.
disappoint me there.
Yeah.
And I really would like to pick Carolina against against the Panthers
I
here,
don't
but
yeah, I don't think it's
Panthers have
unreasonable, but I mean the Panthers are like another level of good. I mean they
the
just
Panthers
you
shut
know
me. I mean, the Panthers shut me up in the first round,
came
and
back from
boy, that
3-1
invoked a lot
against
of
the
pain.
Bruins. Yeah, and then beat the
Less said
Leafs
about that, the better.
and then beat the Leafs
Yeah.
in five in the
Let's
second
talk
round.
about them
So
kicking the. Let's talk about them destroying the Leafs. That brings
mm,
me more
that's
pleasure.
fair.
But
Yeah. And
yeah,
then on the
I
other
mean,
side,
like the thing is, like Carolina, their main problem during the regular season was their lack of scoring ability in the regular season. Their lack of
mm,
scoring, but they've
yeah.
picked it up considerably here against the in the playoffs. Like let's see, in the first round against the Islanders, it was pretty much a slugfest, but they scored when they needed to. And in the second round, Carolina, I believe the lowest amount of goals they scored, aside from the overtime game in Game Five, the lowest amount of goals they scored against the fast-paced Devils was 4 goals per game.
Yeah,
So, and
that wasn't
Carolina
a
plays
lot.
a very yeah, but Carolina plays a very suffocating style of defense. Like they're I would definitely say best defense in the league, and that's really saying something because there's been a lot of great defensive teams, and like at the end of the day, I think Carolina's best player, five best players would be Jarvis, Aho, Kokanyemi, Jesper Fast, and
Hmm.
I'd say Jordan Stahl. And if we're counting defense, then I'd definitely say Brett Burns and Shane Gostisbehere are two people to especially watch out. And Frederick
Yeah.
Anderson, he's no slouch at goalie. He can really hold his own. But then again, the Panthers got some guy at goalie named Sergei Bobrovsky. Tampa Bay fans, and especially depressed Bruins fans like myself, now know him very well. The man who has single-handedly destroyed 2 historical seasons. So I
Yeah.
hate you, Sergey. I really do, but probably not as much as I hate people like Sam Bennett and Matt Kachuk. They're definitely excellent players, but I still hate you. And so, what can I say? What can I say? I hate the Panthers,
Yeah, you're going through
but
like what I go
but
through with like what the pretty much the entire Eastern Conference side in the NBA. Well, not the entire, but like three or four different teams. But anyway, back to
I
hockey.
yeah, I guess so. I'd say the best five offensive players for the Panthers, one and two, no question. Matt Kachuk, Sam Bennett. Then I'd say Barkov at three. I'd go for Hagee at four, and then I'd either put Duclair or Sam Reinhart at five, and of course their best defensive players, not counting Bobrovsky, Gustav Forsling, and Brandon Montour. I'd argue their best defenseman, and that Sergei Bobrovsky guy. I'd say in comparison between the pipes for the Eastern Conference, I would say Sergei Bobrovsky is the better goalie than Ronta or Anderson. And for the West, this is a tough one for me, but I'd say I mean because Jonathan Quick is like 36, 37 years old. He's not the same as he was 10 years ago, but he can still hold his own. But I would pick I would pick Jake Ottinger as the better goalie between the West. So I think, I mean, like I said, I'm still going to root against Florida,
Mm,
but I would not be surprised to see them in the Stanley Cup Finals. But personally, my pick, I see Stars Hurricanes as the final,
Stars
and I
Hurricanes.
will take Stars in seven on that one.
Wow. All right,
Um,
that's yeah.
I know I did a lot of talking.
Yeah, that's some
Couple,
good
Arnav, want to throw in
analysis.
your thoughts?
Um, yeah, sure. I guess I'll give my predictions and just some general hockey thoughts on the playoffs. And I guess I'm coming from it from like the other side here with like the Hurricanes like being the Devils in five after, thrilling first round victory against the Rangers. I don't think I've had that much fun in a long time with the Devils. So it was so much fun seeing the Devils fans kind of dancing to that Rangers goal song and the whole Game 7
Well,
win, and then
it's been some time since it's been some time since the Devils last saw the playoffs. It was
yeah, and
2018 where they got trounced by the Lightning.
it's been it's been a great year. I mean, so much improvement in this rebuild. I think they improved by like 47 points, set like a franchise record in points in games
Yeah,
won or
I
something like that. So certainly like a great year, and they won a playoff series, which isn't an easy thing to do, and moved on to the
yeah,
second
and
round, and
especially
then
against their hated rivals.
exactly, and that's what makes it so much sweeter. But then, you know, they got rocked by the Hurricanes, but 4-1. I thought they would be able to tie up the series at home, because that seems like, what they were doing in the playoffs, like coming down from 0-2. But the Hurricanes are a different team. I mean, like you said, they have like suffocating defense. Their offense is very quick. They'll just pass it a few times and they'll just keep shooting at the goal. And there's like nothing you can really do to stop it. And, they played a quick pace. Certainly a much better team. Well, not yeah. I mean, in the regular season, they were pretty much around the same level. In the postseason, they certainly separated themselves from even like another good team like the Devils. And then we have the Panthers, who like pulled off a very improbable comeback against the Bruins, best regular season team ever. And then, sorry, not to say that. And then 4-1 against the Leafs, so dominated Toronto Leafs team, who Maple Leafs team, who for the first time improved to the advanced to the second round in like 20 years, something like that. I mean, I know Toronto Leafs, Maple Leafs fans are
Yeah,
very happy
yeah,
about
but
that,
like
but then they got eliminated in
with how
five. So
pathetic, yeah, but with how
yeah,
pathetic the Leafs played, does that second round, does that first round victory really mean
I
anything? I
mean,
don't really
it,
think
it
so.
kind of does because they haven't done it in like a long time. So like just because of that. But then like at the same time, like what did they do with it? Not much. It's like 76ers in the NBA. Like sure they swept the Nets, but like then they got eliminated by the Celtics in seven. So like does it really mean anything? Like I don't know. But I mean maybe not, probably not. But since it's the first
Well,
time for the Leafs, it's
the
a little
difference is
different here.
yeah, difference is Toronto's been stuck in the first round gutter for the past 20 years,
Exactly.
whereas the Sixers over the past 5, 7 years haven't gotten to the Eastern Conference Finals. So
Yeah, so
maybe in a
it's a
way,
little it's a little different, I guess. A different round that
yeah,
the teams
couple,
get stuck
you
in. So
care to share your thoughts?
Um, Honestly, I think you guys are right. I mean, it's just hard to, it's just hard really to, you beat the Bruins. They're the best regular season team in ever. And, I think the Panthers do have a good shot at winning it all.
yeah.
And what's your pick? What's your pick for the West?
Uh, I have Vegas.
How many games?
Vegas in 7. It's not going to be easy, but I think they're going to pull it out.
I would not be surprised if each game goes to like 2-1 or 3-2 or 3-1. I would not be surprised at that because, like I said, both teams have excellent defensemen. Um, both teams are very disciplined. They don't really they don't really go on the not necessarily the power plays, but they don't necessarily have to play shorthanded most of the time. So like, but I would say between the two teams, it's probably a lot easier to rattle Vegas than it is with Dallas. And I just really need to say 2 words to prove my point. Evander Kane, he was able to get in Vegas's head quite easily. And while his quote certainly didn't live up to the rest of the series, just showed that uh, Edmonton is able to get in Vegas's head for a bit, even if it was just pretty much only for Game 3. But um, I I mean Game 4, but like I could definitely see Vegas winning it, and I'm especially pulling for Bruce Cassidy. I'd love to see him win the Stanley Cup, considering we unfortunately could not deliver that in 2019 for
Hmm.
Bruce. Um, but and that give me further evidence to suggest the Bruins are cursed. But I could definitely, but my personal pick is Dallas in 6 against Vegas, and then I'll take Carolina in 7 against
Mm.
against the Panthers, and then Stanley Cup Finals. I got Dallas in 7. That's my personal pick. How about you, Arnav? And then I guess we can close it out from there.
Okay. Yeah, so my picks, Florida and Carolina. It's like they're both like kind of similarly, they were similarly dominant in that second round series against like, teams that are also pretty good but not quite at their level. But that's gonna be hard. I think it could go either way, but I mean, I'm gonna take Florida on seven. I don't know. I feel like their domination of the Leafs was like even more, and then also to come back and beat the Bruins, I think that just like shows that they're probably the better team here slightly, although Carolina certainly is a good team. I could see that one going either way, honestly. But I'm gonna say
Uh,
Panthers in
I
seven,
mean,
and then yeah, and then on the west side we got Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Dallas Stars, another competitive series. Good goalies, good lineups all around. I think Vegas gets back to the Stanley Cup final, so I think I'm gonna take Vegas in seven too. So that's Florida and Vegas. So then, hmm, man, I just feel like the Panthers are just gonna like win it all. Like, I mean, they kind of have to, like, if they play like that. So like, I mean, not that the Golden Knights are gonna be an easy team to beat, but gonna say like Panthers and let's go Panthers in six here. So like, yeah. So I
all
guess
right,
Florida
so
wins the cup.
all all three of us got different picks then. I got Dallas winning it all. Couples got Vegas, and you've got Florida. So I guess none of us are
Interesting.
picking Carolina, which,
Yeah.
who knows?
We'll see. I mean, it
Maybe
can
maybe
happen.
maybe
That'd be funny
maybe the
if they're the
Carolina
one to
social
they're the one to win and like
no
none
the
of us got
Carol
it right. But oh, and then they like troll us and
yeah.
like that was funny what they
Oh
did
well,
with the Devils. But yeah. And then,
we got a bit of a way to climb for there, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, either way, I could see the series going either way, but I would, if the hockey gods are real, I just want you to quiet down Florida. That's all I ask for. That's
Yeah.
all I ask for. Just
I
make
would
the
not count
Panthers
out
finally
the
shut up.
Canes, but yeah, I mean, I could possibly see that happen. That's going to be a good series. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we all have different picks, and we'll see which one happens because oftentimes like you just don't know with these playoff series, like they can go either way. So we'll have to see. But that's been some fun hockey analysis.
Yeah. All right. So I guess on top of that, we'll recap again next week, see what happens, and we'll also stay in touch with the NBA. Go
Of
Nuggets and
course.
go Celtics, especially go Celtics, and especially damn the Lakers. I hate y'all with a burning passion. You're nothing but a purple and golden yellow trash heap.
That was quite the game one we
You
had
people
yesterday.
suck. You deserve absolutely nothing as a franchise.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion, though. Go
Mhm.
Celtics, especially go Celtics. Go Nuggets
Go Nuggets.
and go Celtics again.
I'm Nuggets Heat, so
Mhm.
we'll see what happens with the NBA,
Okay,
Eastern Conference,
I'll
Western
come.
Conference Finals.
I think between the four potential NBA Finals matchup, that's I'd like to say the least likely to happen, but hey, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, it could. I mean, we have interesting possibilities all around. I mean, Lakers Celtics, Lakers Heat, Nuggets Celtics. I mean, quite the options. Maybe the NBA is going to try to make that happen again with like Lakers Celtics or Heat Lakers again. Seeing some either historic rivalry or that bubble rematch. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens
Well,
here. That game one was just like
well,
electric yesterday. So that's all I gotta say.
well,
Nuggets held
like I
them
said,
up.
in a not in a non-rigged world, Denver wins, but in a rigged world, the Lakers win.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's fair. So the Nuggets held up furious rally by the Lakers
Well,
yesterday. Let's
well,
see what happens. I mean,
personally, I think the rigging started at the end of and near the end of the third quarter.
yeah, because Jokic had
That's what
like
I
a
think.
phenomenal game, and then it looked like the Nuggets were just gonna run away with it. And then here come the Lakers, and then the Nuggets were able to kind of do enough to hit some shots and put them out of reach. So that was just game one. I mean, we have a lot left in that series. Game two starts. I mean, game one of the other series, Celtics Heat, starts today. So I mean, a lot of good basketball, and yeah, we'll definitely be analyzing all of that along with the NHL. And, in future episodes this summer, I'm sure we'll have a lot of time to, talk some baseball, talk some football, preview college football, the NFL, from a national perspective, something I've kind of wanted to do. So yeah, that's kind of like the plan for the summer. And I don't know, maybe we'll throw in some other things in there as we get guests on and stuff like that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I just,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm not the biggest college sports fanatic, but I know when it comes to college sports, we can save our oxygen on talking about Rutgers, especially when it comes to football.
That that's yeah, that's fair.
Like they're the
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna say you're wrong there. I'm kind of hoping for a 6-win season, but I think it's possible. But it's a tough team. I mean, it's a tough team to root for. But they're certainly on the climb. So I'm excited to see what comes out of the Scarlet Knights and Greg Schiano this year.
well, yeah, you're the bottom barrel of the Big Ten. You really have nowhere else to go but up.
Yeah, that's also true. So I mean, yeah, like
I
I
mean,
said, well, yeah.
I'm not asking Rutgers to be Ohio State. I'm just asking them to be 500. No. That's too high of expectation. Three three games below 500. 3 games below 500.
They were like 4-8 last year. So like, I mean, it's definitely
But
possible.
I don't know. Like, wasn't there one season where they were like 2-10?
Yeah, so see, that's when like Chris Ash was a coach, and they were just like miserably bad. Now they're like kind of more like respectably bad because like Greg Schiano's back under the fold, and
I
they're
mean, the way
improving.
I saw it,
Recruits are improving.
No, the way I saw it, Greg Schiano got paid $1 million per game he won last season.
Yeah, that's like about right, right? Like 4 million and more per game. I don't know.
Uh,
It's a tough team to root
uh,
for, but that's kind of like, I'll definitely, have the inside, well, not inside, but I'll have like more detailed information on that and how things are going. I'm a huge like football fan. Like college football's a lot of fun. Even just the atmosphere of the games and stuff like that too. And so I could analyze that in depth. And I know Kapil, you're like a big Alabama fan, so that'll be a lot of fun because they're like one of the best teams in college football year in, year out. So I mean, I'll definitely want to talk about that and also just like, that national perspective that I feel like sometimes I've been missing because, we do like a Rutgers like focus show, which isn't a bad thing, but I mean, I just want to look at it from bigger perspective. But that's why we have like our own show here. We can put our own spin on it, and we have a lot of fun. And it's been one episode, and we've already talked about the NBA, the NHL, and we've had a good time. So, um, if
yeah, we'll save the
yeah,
MLB for a bit later.
all right. And I guess the NFL schedule kind of came and went. I mean, Giants kind of got screwed with a lot of road games, a lot of primetime games. Those are kind of my like only
But
thoughts. Also,
yeah,
a nightmare game in Philadelphia on Christmas, which I'm still like really not looking forward to. But yeah, those are my Giants thoughts on like the NFL schedule release. Chiefs, Eagles,
yeah,
that's gonna be a good rematch too, and when that comes around, can't wait.
and I guess one last final thing to talk about, like here at the NHL, and then we can end it. I don't know if you guys saw, but it's like the you guys heard about the Arizona Coyotes?
Or are
About
they
the new
like,
So
stadium. Yeah.
yeah, well, 56% of the voters voted no for Arizona. So I don't if something doesn't happen quickly, they could very well be off to Houston,
wow?
Quebec City, Kansas City, maybe even revisit Atlanta. Who knows? Like maybe hockey will tap into the Atlanta market for a third time.
Hmm.
But either way, like it's kind of sad because you
I
know,
think this year like
hockey's been
proved that like that it doesn't matter like where the team's from. Like teams in the South, like look at like the four last teams. Like we got the Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, Carolina Hurricanes, and Florida Panthers. So it's not that like they're in the South and they're in the desert that should be an obstacle. I mean, if you have the talent, you have like you have the fans, like
no,
which
no,
I
no.
guess the fans will elect.
The obstacle has been
So that's not the
no, the
problem with the
obstacle with
Coyotes.
the no, the obstacle has mainly been their lack of sufficient upper management, and that's who like they couldn't get a new lease on Glendale a couple years ago, so they had to move to Tempe, and I think they're sharing the ice with with the college team there, and
Yeah,
their seats are capped at 5,000. So
right.
like
Yeah, that's not great. So, yeah.
so it could very, and I really don't see them moving back to Phoenix because there's a lot of bridges burned there. So this could very well be the end of Arizona hockey. It could
Wow.
very well be.
Hmm.
It sucks, but
Yeah, yeah, it is what it is, I guess, if they decide to move. But you know, lack of success, I guess, on and off the ice, then we could say. But yeah, they haven't been too great as a franchise lately in terms of wins either. But yeah, so that's some interesting news coming out of the NHL as well as we get deeper
yeah,
into the playoffs. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
Couple, you got any closing thoughts?
Um, it's that time of year when a lot of these, things are heating up. Conference finals in, two major sports, and any of the series could go any way. And I'm just interested to see who emerges on top.
yeah, um, I agree with that. I mean, I think that's
I got Stars and Hurricanes. Uh, yeah, I guess that'll be it for now.
yeah. That's gonna be it for episode one of the starting lineup. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm Arnav Sarkar alongside Jitesh Ramakrishnan, Kapil Nathan, and we'll see you next week.